Hi, everyone. So, we are here to answer some of the questions that we have received this week. And the first question, which I think makes a lot of sense, is centered around what the therapy or coaching journey looks like for people who want to engage in performance wellness. There's a lot we can say.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, that's such a broad question. I think, first of all, everybody's journey is different and everybody's experiences are different. But a lot of times they have similar themes. And so with what we're doing now with the platform, what we're doing is we're taking the broad themes that a lot of performers and artists and creatives deal with or are challenged by, and
Hmm.
we create exercises and interventions and things to help um, people specifically and personally sift through their own stuff. Um, but so it really is your own individual journey, but it's using these kind of like bigger themes to then use specifically for yourself. Does that make sense, you think,
I think
Elisa?
so. I think so, yeah. And I think there is a degree, especially on a platform type of format that can be different from a one on one type of format. There is a degree of generalizability, so to speak. Is that even a word? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The Italian is here. But yeah, I think that we have the idea of the themes that we want to tackle because of answers that we got in the market research, because of our private clients, and because we have learned so much from our mentors. So we
Mm-hmm.
have seen the general things that artists struggle with, and of course there's always more, and there's always the individual journey, the individual question of the individual. But by creating the tools that we create, those become applicable, I think, in different ways. And
Absolutely.
I think for everyone, from the very general to the very specific, we try to take them from where they are now to where they want to be. So how are you feeling right now? What are your goals? What's keeping you between your current position and your goals? Whatever makes you happy in your craft and in your personal life. How do we tackle this in between?
Right.
What are the
And
tools?
I think at the base of this too, I mean, you just said it perfectly. Um, where are you now? Where do you want to be? And then we have the approach that, you are really your own expert. So we're just going to give you tools to help you discover the best in you so because I think I know you believe this, Eliza, and I do too, that a therapist or a counselor isn't here to tell you what to do, to change you, I mean, really, our function here is to help you find it for yourself. So through the exercises, through the interventions, through all the experiences that we provide, you can find it for yourself by asking certain questions, by having certain internal experiences and dialogues and things like that.
Yeah, I think that is such an important point, and I am a huge believer of that. I think a lot of people sometimes also feel resistant in therapy because of the stereotypes about therapy. Like, oh, this person who doesn't even know me is going to get their nose all into my personal business.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to tell me what to do. Like, someone
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even know me and doesn't know my life really is going to tell me what to do. And I always try to reassure even people on, check in calls before they become a client. Like, I just want to make sure you know that this is an alliance. You have
Right.
power. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to help you build the tools to go
Exactly.
in whatever direction feels right for you.
Right.
So important to emphasize that. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then, of course, we have gotten a question around, sort of like how we tackle things. And of course, the general topics that we tackle, we have discussed that on social media quite a bit, but everything from performance anxiety to creative blocks, performance related trauma, personal trauma. I mean, there's so much different types of anxiety. I mean, feel free to add more to the list. I mean, I know we have like a 50-item list, and now I can't think of
Yeah,
more.
and then well, then anything that comes up too personally, like for anybody on the platform, um, then we can roll that in and use it because that's what we're doing is actually using what the participants are are giving us. So really anything that
Yeah,
that you're experiencing.
really anything. And I think that we do have a lot of tools that we have developed personally together from our trainings. I mean, we do. That's the other question that I think I also get a lot in my practice. Like, how much talk
Hmm.
therapy do you do?
Right.
Yeah, we do talk therapy, we do creative interventions, somatic work, cognitive work, behavioral work, but really we do what's needed and what works for the person.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think we really are more integrative, um, using the body, recognizing that somatically, things get stuck. So just we both believe that you can't just talk your way out of everything or into it. It's important to acknowledge and to recognize things but really it's a full body and mind and spirit experience as well, and we recognize that, and so all of our methods are geared towards that view.
Absolutely, 1000%. Everything you said is so the center, the core of it, the soul of it.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then the other question we got was around, of course, reemergence anxiety, because that's the topic of our month. And for
Hmm.
people who are used to being in public a lot, especially public speakers, how to tackle the new anxieties of, yes, I'm going out there, I am doing what I'm used to doing normally, maybe
Hmm.
speaking on stage or singing on stage or playing, but there's this layer of, this is my post-pandemic self now, and I have a lot of fears and anxieties that I didn't have before, and it's affecting my ability
Hmm.
to do what I need to do.
Yeah, I think the best, like, I don't know if it's advice or just like a perspective, is give yourself time. You have to take it slow, and you have to take it in your own time. Your timetable is not everybody else's timetable. So if, and sometimes we've got these mixed emotions. Like a lot of people have told me recently, they're so excited that live music is back and going to concerts, but then suddenly they're at a concert and they're like, "Ooh, I didn't realize that I was going to feel this uncomfortable with people this close to me." And just, okay, being okay with that and recognizing it. And if you need to leave, you need to leave. And maybe you're not ready to be surrounded by that many people yet. And just kind of stepping in slowly at your own rate, not what everybody else is doing or saying. And just because some of your friends might be able to go to a crowded bar and you're not comfortable with it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. Just take your time. That's the best kind of advice I can give on that.
Yeah, I second that 1000%. And I think the idea of, yeah, being where you're at and being compassionate,
Hmm.
like, oh, I feel so uncomfortable with these people around me. Hey, I feel you. I feel like, if one was to talk literally to themselves, like, oh, I feel you, I feel your discomfort, it's okay,
Hmm.
let's take it one step at a time. I mean, I can speak for myself. The fears that I have, such as fear of crowds or fear of heights, I have felt how much that has, gosh, it's become so much higher post
Yeah.
lockdown,
Yeah.
because I didn't have to deal with that. And it's funny, I live on the 12th floor, but luckily our windows don't really open that much, so I'm not really that afraid. And then just, traveling around Italy, where we have, these little balconies that are literally as high as your hip, and
Uh-huh.
I'm looking down, I realized how much my fear has really gotten a lot higher. but
Exacerbated. Yeah.
but slowly then it kind of goes back to baseline. Like, that's the other thing too, and that now everything is exacerbated, but it's not forever. It's not
Right.
forever.
Right. Yeah. And even things that, I mean, I noticed this. I was on the train, the subway, and thinking, oh, yeah, this is great. I'm totally back to normal. I feel great. But then later on in the day, the train was much more crowded. And suddenly I thought, ooh, uh, I'm not so comfortable now. Like I thought I was way more comfortable than I was. But there's a certain amount of crowding that suddenly is like, nope, nope. So just being aware of that and handling it in the moment, and not like, getting down on yourself or telling yourself, why am I not adapting? Why am I not? Just be gentle with yourself. Give yourself time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And whenever you feel like you don't really have the tools, that's what we're here for.
Right.
Like, oh, how do I get more gentle with myself?
Exactly.
That's what we're here for, always.
Right.
Well, thank you, everyone. And if you have any more questions, absolutely do send them our way.
Keep them coming all the time. We love to hear them.
Yes.